Welcome to Manifesting Basics Heelcamps. Yes, I said Heelcamp and not boot camp because over here we do heal. So with each Heelcamp, you'll be able to find a workbook or a worksheet associated with it, and you can download it in the link below. All Heelcamps can be found at my website at ambermarieturner.com/Heelcamps. So I invite you to download the worksheet and take notes. And without further ado, let's get into Heelcamp. Hey guys, welcome to Heelcamp. So in this Heelcamp, we are going to talk about letting go. So do you desire a peaceful and beautiful life full of things you enjoy, bliss, and love? I mean, who doesn't want those things? I want you to understand that love is truth, and anything that is not can be shed and let go of. So if anything that's showing up in your reality that you're not feeling can be shed and let go of, because truth is love. That is our essence, love. So today in Heelcamp, we are going to talk about letting go, how to do it, and the energetics of it all. So letting go. Here's the thing. Everyone talks about letting go. Just let it go. Just let it go. And they don't really say how to do it. They just say, you got to let the thing go. But how do we do that? How do we let go? And so in this video in Heal Camp today, I want to talk about how we do that and the energetics that are at play when it comes to letting go. So let's jump right in. So letting go. Anything that is showing up in our reality are aspects of ourselves. Now, our reality is a reflection of what is going on inside of us. So, the people, the places, and the things, and all of the situations and circumstances are a reflection of what is going on inside of us. And so, if we look at it that way, anything that's showing up that we are not a fan of is a reflection of something that's going on inside of us. It is an aspect of us that we can let go. We can let go of. So, for instance, the other day I did a video on being triggered. I also did a video on stress. So, if something that you feel is like a stressful situation that's showing up in your life, it is a reflection of an aspect of you. Now, it's not often this direct reflection because we're like, well, what the situation? How is this me? Well, the situation or circumstance or person or whatever it is, a stressful situation is showing you something, an aspect of you that you are holding on to. Okay. So you are holding on to that aspect of you because if it isn't love, that's something that you're holding on to that you can release and let go of. So, if it's stress, if it's something that's a stressful situation, it could be that that thing, that stressful situation is actually a reflection of a insecure aspect of yourself that you're holding on to. So you're holding on to this insecurity aspect of yourself that is showing up as this situation in your external reality. So we can let go of that. We can let go of that aspect of ourselves that is insecure. And as we release and let go of that aspect of ourselves, our reality will change and transform to reflect the releasing and letting go of that insecure aspect of ourselves. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about the different aspects of ourselves that can be showing up in our reality. So there are different aspects of ourselves that are scared, maybe, afraid, insecure, perhaps overwhelmed, feels not valuable. All of these aspects of ourselves that we're holding on to will be reflected to us in people, places, and things. So these aspects of ourselves can show up as a toxic relationship. It can show up as no time busyness, scarcity of time, lack. It can show up as a job that we don't like or enjoy. It can also show up as like a place that we live that seems chaotic. These aspects of ourselves, that can be the reflection. It also can be reflected back to us as lack of money, people taking advantage of us, all of these things. So these reflections are reflecting these reflections in our life that we may not like is reflecting to us an aspect of ourselves that we can let go of and release. So all these aspects are a part of you that you can let go of. But what's happening, because if it's showing up in your reality, if any dis-ease, any disharmony is showing up in your reality, that means that you're holding on to that aspect of yourself. So, how do we let go of it? Okay. So, let's get into how do we let go of these aspects of ourselves that are not serving us, that is causing us disharmony, it's causing us disease, dis-ease, and we just don't want it in our life, right? It's causing stress, whatever the case is. How do we let go of these insecure? How do we let go of these insecure, scared, afraid, l- feels lack aspects of ourselves? Because we want to do that. Number one is we bring awareness and light to that aspect of ourselves. So if there's a situation, perhaps you're in a toxic relationship and you're holding on, and it's just like, even if you let go of a relationship in your reality, your external reality, you're in a toxic relationship and all you experience in your reality are toxic relationships over and over again. So you either remain in one, or that's all that keeps showing up in your life is toxic relationship over toxic relationship over toxic. Is it over? Yeah, over toxic relationship. I think that's it. But like if you keep experiencing the same thing, either you stay in it or it keeps showing up in your life. That means that you are holding on to an aspect of yourself that perhaps feels insecure. And that's why the toxic relationship keeps showing up in your life, because it's reflecting back to you that aspect of yourself that's insecure. So we need to bring awareness to that aspect of ourself that's insecure. So it's like, okay, this thing that keeps showing up in my life. So the thing shows up in my life. I keep experiencing the same thing. This, if I take a deep dive into why I keep putting myself in this situation and this situation keeps showing up, it actually is a reflection of that aspect of me that feels insecure, that feels like that I can't have better, that is not confident, that is afraid of a healthy, beautiful, loving relationship. So the insecure aspect of me is holding on and choosing relationships that's going to reflect this insecure aspect of myself. So now that I brought awareness and light to it, I can then heal this aspect of myself. And so I want you to ask some questions when it comes to this insecure aspect of yourself. Now, it can be, afraid, a scared aspect of yourself, an unconfident aspect of yourself. It can be an overwhelmed, it can be an aspect of yourself that fears love. It can be an aspect of yourself that feels lack. It can be all of these things. And so we need to really hone in on what it is that we're feeling and why these situations and why we choose to put ourselves in situations as well, why they keep showing up in our life. Okay. So that aspect of yourself, if we take that aspect of ourselves, like, like pull it out, and it's another version of yourself. It is you, but it's an insecure version of yourself. And we look at her, we bring light to, we bring awareness to her because we want to separate that aspect from of ourselves, that insecure aspect of ourselves. We want to separate it from who we are, our being, because our being is love. So we want to look at her, separate her from us. And I want you to ask these questions. What does she look like? Does she look exactly like you? Is she wearing the same clothes as you? What does she look like? And look at her. Look at her. How does she feel? Can you see how she feels? Can you connect to that feeling that she is feeling? What are some things that she's saying? What are some things that she is saying as you look at her? She's saying, I will never find anyone better than this. I am not deserving of a beautiful, loving relationship. Is she saying those things? I want you to see and hear her. I want you to see and hear her. I want you to listen to her and be present with her. So, what is she saying? How is she feeling? What do you see? Okay. So, the next thing I want you to step into is actually loving her. I want you to love her. As you look at her and you understand why, you understand where she is coming from. I want you to see, hear, and love her. Be present with her. She wants to be heard. These things that she's saying to you, where are they coming from? Is it a 7-year-old version of you? Is it a 20-year-old version of you? Is it a hurt version of you that's saying these things, that feels insecure, that's saying these things to you? I want you to see and hear her and feel her and be present with her. Then I really want you to talk to her about what it is that you truly desire. And you want to tell her that we are safe. We are safe to actually have a beautiful, loving relationship. So I'm talking about a relationship in this example, but whatever it is that you're trying to manifest or you're trying to transform or change, I want you to look at it this way. Tell her we're safe. That situation that happened when you were 7 years old or 20 years old or whatever, we're safe now. I hear and see you, and I love you, but we're safe here. And I want you to imagine so much light around this interaction that's happening. So much light around this interaction that's happening that this shadow slowly moves back into potential. Okay? I want you to hear me. Imagine that there's so much light around this interaction that's happening that this shadow moves back into potential. Tell her it's okay to go because I am safe now. And choose to let go of this aspect of myself. And you choose to step into more light, more love. You bring light and more love into your being. So I also want you to imagine and see this beautiful light permeate every part of your body. This beautiful light permeate every part of your body. Beautiful rays literally coming through every pore of your body. I want you to imagine that, see it, Feel this beautiful, loving light coming through all pores of your body. The shadow is okay to go back to potential, and you let go and bring in more love. You let go of that aspect of yourself and bring in more love and light. Okay? So now I want to talk about the energetics at play here because, you know, for a long time, people would say, oh, just let go, release and let go. And that's beautiful to say. I think it's a beautiful thing to say. But like, if you really need to understand what is going on here, let's talk about the energetics that is in play, the interplay of these energetics. Okay. I like to talk about masculine and feminine energy and how I always do this because I see the yin yang symbol when I talk about masculine and feminine energy, but how it becomes the God principle, creation energy. So what energetics are at play here when it comes to this healing? Because what you're doing is healing yourself. You're letting go and healing. What energetics are at play? So this is creation energy. This is masculine and feminine energy at play. So the masculine energy is the awareness, the focus, the light that you bring to this aspect of yourself. And so I like to use my hands because this is how I see it, is that aspect, so that thing that's showing up in your external reality is a reflection of a certain aspect of yourself that needs healing, that you need to let go of. Okay. So we bring awareness to it. We see it, we bring awareness to it, we bring focus and light to it. So anytime that we talk about awareness, it is the same thing as light. So we bring light to that insecure aspect of ourselves. And that is the masculine energetics at play when it comes to this healing, when it comes to letting go. And the loving it, hearing it, seeing it, and feeling that aspect of yourself is the feminine energy piece of this thing. I like to think about like feminine energy, that love of a mother, seeing her child and hearing her child, that nurturing and nourishing energy is loving that aspect of yourself. Okay. And so these are the energies at play. And this creation energy that is these two energetics coming together, this creation energy is this thing, is this momentum kind of energy in which we can step into something different. We choose something different. We choose security. And truly, we don't really have to choose because as we let go and bring in more love, love is peace, love is bliss, love is safety and security and all these things. So as we bring in more love and let that aspect of ourselves go, release that aspect and bring in more love, we are essentially choosing. We are choosing bliss. We are choosing love. We are choosing peace by releasing and letting go of those, what people would call limiting beliefs, blocks, an aspect, a shadow, whatever you want to call it. But you need to see it. You need to bring awareness to it and love it, lovingly allow it to go back into potential. That's what we're doing when we're letting go and releasing something. So that's all for today's Hill Camp. I really wanted to go a little deeper into letting go and releasing and what that looks like and what energetics are at play when it comes to letting go and releasing and bringing in more love, you know? Yeah, so that's all for today's Hill Camp. Like I said in the beginning, there will be a worksheet or a workbook, probably a worksheet associated with this hill camp. So go to Amber Marie Turner /Hill Camps and you'll find this episode as well as the corresponding worksheet. I invite you guys to take notes, to do the worksheet, and let go and release and step into more love. And I would check you guys in the next Hill Camp, and you can find out more about me at ambermarieturner.com. So, peace.